What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Bad Nighttime Lighting. As always, I am your host, Zach Cronin, and today it is not about me. It is not about what my setup looks like. It is not about how dimly lit I am. It is about Victor Wembanyama. The other day, he played a game against the Detroit Pistons where he recorded his first career triple-double, 16 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, no turnovers. It wasn't the best game of his rookie season, but it was one of the more impressive performances, at least to me, because playmaking has not been one of Wemby's best skills early on in his young NBA career. He's averaging 3 assists per game to 3.1 turnovers, and it's just not something that I think folks expected him to do within the NBA. However, this 10 assist performance against the Detroit Pistons kind of gives me a little insight as to what kind of playmaker Wemby can be later on in his career. I don't think that 10 assists a night is going to be his ceiling. We're talking Nikola Jokic numbers at that point, and I know that any game against the Pistons does come with an asterisk because the Pistons couldn't guard a cemetery, but the way that he read the floor this game, the way that he was facilitating and passing, if the Spurs are able to develop Wemby into a guy who can give 4 or 5 assists per game while cutting down his turnovers, operating in a way wherein he can facilitate from the free throw line extended, from the top of the free throw line, from the top of the key, I think it'll add a refreshing dynamic to their offense and a very difficult dynamic to guard as well. Maybe not in the same way as Nikola Jokic, but more of a Blake Griffin, I think, is a very reasonable comparison. And in this, I want to go maybe not assist by assist, but I want to take a look at some of his passes throughout this game and kind of just break it down because I feel that this was a film study worthy performance from Wembanyama, and I also haven't really talked about him a lot on this channel, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get into it. This is the very first play of the game. We have Trey Jones, ball handler Victor Wembanyama comes up, sets a little brush screen. Oh, I'm not. I'm sorry. Trey Jones is in the corner. My bad. Trey Jones is gonna come up and receive a dribble handoff from Wembanyama. This play is, yes, an assist for Wemby, but more so is a look into why the Pistons are such a dog shit defense. The NBA coaches always talk about KYP, know your personnel. Trey Jones shoots 27% from three. I want to say, what the fuck is Killian Hayes doing going over this screen? You do not need to be going over this screen on a guy who is 8 points below the league average. As a result, it is effectively one-on-one, and Trey Jones is fast enough to blow by to oh well, okay. Jesus Christ. This isn't even a one-on-one. This is an oh my god, dude, the Pistons are so bad. This is an open layup. There's no communication between anybody. This was a decent screen and a decent handoff by Wemby as well, which allowed Trey Jones to create some additional space because, there is a lot of man that you have to swing around as the defender, but holy moly, this play is a fucking tremendous breakdown by the Pistons. Like, my guys, what are you doing? You see this huge ass opening, you need to slide over. Anyway, I'm rambling right now. Easy layup. This is something that I want to see the Spurs explore a lot more is Wemby bringing the ball up. He can see everything. He can see like 17 rows back into the stands. This guy is so goddamn tall. There is nobody that is going to disrupt his vision. That's just impossible. He's bringing the ball up. There really isn't a set being ran here. I mean, Sohan comes up to set a screen. Wemby rejects it, attracts 2 defenders. Killian Hayes is once again in La La Land. I think that Killian Hayes might be the least aware defender in the NBA. He does not look at Trey Jones at all. Like he is watching the ball for this entire set. Horrible positioning. Wemby exploits this, attacks him, forces the double team. Trey Jones with a nice backdoor cut. Easy layup. I think what really is key for me in these clips so far is that it's just Wemby making the right play. Again, you're not expecting him to be a Jokic style passer. You're not expecting him to be a LeBron or a Luka level passer. I don't think that's in his ceiling. But we've seen guys like Kawhi Leonard, for example, who have developed into reliable playmakers. We've seen bigs like Joel Embiid and Giannis become better playmakers as well. And they're not guys that you need to run the set through all the time. It's just a way of continuing whatever set is being ran. That along with being able to pass out of the post, these are skills that bigs nowadays have to be capable of learning, especially something like passing out of the post, because when you're a dominant post player, you're going to see double teams. This clip made its way around social media, and for rightful reasons. Victor Wembanyama might be the best quarterback in Dallas. I know there's a lot of people gushing over CJ Stroud, and he had a fantastic game this season. He might be better than Dak Prescott. As I'm recording this video, I'm watching the Packers absolutely blast Dak Prescott and the Cowboys. But this clip went viral on social media because you don't see 7'3" people making this play. Bogdanovich, great contest by Sohan here, almost falls. Like pretty good attempt by Bogey here. And there is not a single Piston within like 8 feet of Jeremy Sohan. This guy is so wide open. I know this freeze frame is a little blurry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Pistons. Sohan is out of frame. He's at the free throw line when he catches this pass. Being able to capitalize on mental mistakes, on defensive lapses, is a huge piece of being a good playmaker. If you're not a guy like Chris Paul, you're not capable of making the defense have mental lapses. You have to capitalize on them. And again, for a young player who's 7'3" to be doing this, this is spectacular. Another instance of Wemby just reading the floor. Good contest right here. Missed shot. Rebounds. Is running in semi-transition. Does a good job of protecting the ball from behind here. And, of course, we are once again noticing the Detroit Pistons do not communicate on offense. They are doing the don't say a single word on defense challenge 2023-2024. Jeremy Sohan slips behind 2 Pistons and is somehow left open. Everyone is focused on Victor Wembanyama, except, ironically enough, Killian Hayes, who is trying to keep an eye on Justin Champagnie, who is entirely not in the play at all. Sohan sneaks behind his guy, and then this is just making the right pass. There are plenty of ways that you can go about this. He could have lobbed it over to Sohan, but of course he has those tremendous strides. He's able to get a step closer and deliver a nice little shovel pass, but this is just inexcusable defense by the Pistons, but a great job of Wemby by capitalizing on it. Let's run this back again, full speed. Forces the miss, corrals the rebound, and the Spurs aren't even really running that hard. Sohan notices, he splits the defenders, boom, easy pitch and catch, easy dunk. You can't ask for easier buckets than this. Not too much to discuss on this one. Little slip screen by Devin Vassell. Once again, negative communication. We once again have zero communication between Jalen Duren and Killian Hayes. This is a slip screen. Generally, you call out screen, and then somebody says switch or stay. It's not that hard. It is the easiest call out in NBA defense. Switch or stay. And it's even easier because the coach has a game plan heading into this game where we are either going to switch everything or we are going to stay on everything. This isn't even about Victor Wembanyama anymore. I somehow turned this into a rant on the Detroit Pistons. Anyway, Vassell slips. Wemby, once again, 2 guys, easy, like little touch pass over the top. It's that easy. This is the other clip that went viral from this game. Spoiler alert, again, this was the nutmeg that Wembanyama did on Bojan Bogdanovich. This is a tremendous luxury, having a guy who can rebound and also lead the break, and nothing spectacular here. Again, making the right play. If you notice that your teammate has a step on his defender, lead him to the cup. There's nobody on the back end to stop Julian Champagnie. Just lead him to the cup. At no point was there an effort to cut off that pass. The degree of difficulty was a lot harder, of course, because of the nutmeg, but there are a lot of guys in the NBA who can make that pass. Maybe not a lot, but a lot of the star players in the NBA are going to make that pass. I'm astonished at how bad the Pistons defense is. I watched these clips first before I commentate over them, just so I can know what's going to happen and I sound a little bit more coherent that way. They look like a team that just has no interest in competing anymore. They look like they don't want to be out there. They look defeated. There's no confidence that anything good is going to happen to them. And it's kind of hard to blame them when you're historically bad, when you lose 28 games in a row, win one, and then lose like three or four more. But I, I don't know where it starts. I don't know if this is a player issue. I don't know if this is an issue with Monty Williams, if he's already lost control of the locker room. He's been with this team for not even a year. This is another pass where all the scorer does is cut. And it's not even that hard of a cut. This isn't Kyle Korver coming off a screen. This isn't JJ Redick coming off of a pin down or anything like that. This is Jeremy Sohan like jogging to the basket. Watch. So this is a miss by Sohan. Ball is tapped to Wemby. Sohan cuts like it's a light jog and then easy layup over Jalen Duren. Where is the defense? How the fuck? Oh my god, dude. There that film session guy on TikTok, I think that's what his username is. I see why he gets so mad reacting to the Pistons defense, because on what fucking planet do you have three guys in the paint and you not get this rebound? Moreover, how do you not get this rebound? And Trey Jones is like 6'2". How does he tip this ball to Wemby? Like, look at this. Look at this. You got three dudes in the paint. Three dudes in the paint. And then it's like, is no one ready for any potential cut? And then Jeremy Sohan just flies in out of nowhere. What the, like, bro? My man is lost. My man was on a trip to India and accidentally landed in the United States. Where the fuck was he going? And then, like, oh my god, dude, it's a remarkable lack of effort. Killian Hayes doesn't even put a hand up. Like, oh my god, bro. Now I see how Wemby had 10 assists with 0 turnovers, because to get a turnover against the Pistons, you have to physically give them the basketball. In the beginning, Killian Hayes goes over a screen on Trey Jones. Bad decision. Here, he is going to go over a screen on Doug McDermott. Good decision. Doug McDermott is an exceptional three-point shooter. And it was a solid screen on Wemby's end, which is why McDermott had so much space. Actually, let's run the play. And because it's just so Killian Hayes actually does the right thing, goes over the screen. Doug McDermott is an exceptional three-point shooter. In this case, you run him off the three-point line. However, Wemby sets a very solid screen on Killian Hayes. There is absolutely no fucking way Killian Hayes is meandering around this 7'3" guy with an 8-foot wingspan. James Wiseman, you have to blitz. You have to come up and not allow Doug McDermott to get our shot off. I understand you're already down by 21. You've probably mentally checked out. You're thinking about Chipotle after the game because you can't get Wingstop because you guys are not going to win. I understand you're thinking about your burrito bowl. Run this man off of the three-point line. Do you trust your back end? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But you cannot let an NBA player take a shot. This is shooting practice. We make jokes like we talk about shooting practice all the time. This is actually shooting practice. This is the coach's posture when they're giving the ball to their man in warm-ups. And Wemby gets another assist out of it. But more so, the screen here is what creates all of this separation. Like, Killian Hayes is knocked into fucking Lansing on this screen. There's nothing he can do to recover from that. Rare Jetty Osman point guard sighting. Wembanyama establishes position in the paint, gets 2 feet in the paint early on, even though he does pull the ball out a little bit. The one thing that the Pistons are doing here is they are seemingly not letting anybody be open. All 5 of them are latched on to somebody. You have Alec Burks over here. Kevin Knox is doing his best to see his man and the ball, which is good. Bojan Bogdanovic is maybe trying to do a light double. Killian Hayes, I'm not sure if he knows that there is somebody behind him, but I think that's par for the course at this point. So Wemby establishes position, pulls the ball out a little bit. Bojan Bogdanovic, Sohan is not really even cutting right here, but still, Bogdanovic is keeping his hands out just in case a potential pass does come through. Kevin Knox just gets flat out beat. And then Bogey has his back turned still, and Wemby has a pretty uncontested bounce pass in for a layup. Like, there is nothing extravagant happening here. This is just a bounce pass off of a cut. I mean, this is a good cut as well by Jetty Osman. So shout out to him. More McDermott, Wemby action. McDermott over here comes up. They fake the dribble handoff. Okay? Fake the. No one is entirely lost quite yet. In fact, actually, no, I lied. They are lost. They are kind of lost here. Jaden Ivey. Jaden Ivey does get lost here a little bit. There is a little bit more of a better contest by Jalen Duren, but still, this is just recognizing that your man is wide the fuck open and giving him a pass in his shooting pocket, or at least very close to it, and allowing him to get a clean look off. There's really nothing more that you could ask from anybody who is facilitating your offense. Now, I mentioned it at the beginning, obviously. I don't think that we're going to be seeing 10 assists a night from Wemby anytime soon. But to do 10 assists and not turn the ball over one time, even if it is against the Detroit Pistons, there is a little bit of a light bulb moment like, hey, this guy may have a bit more playmaking aptitude than we originally anticipated. And it's now something that you can focus on because it would appear that the rest of Wemby's offense is pretty well far along. And of course, you couple that with his defensive potential as well. But I'm going to go ahead and close this video out. Thank you guys so very much for coming to hang out with me today. As always, everything I'm associated with is down in the description box below. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Drop a comment as well. It really helps out with the algorithm. Subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. If you do any of those, you will be my new favorite person. Thanks again. I'll catch y'all in the next one.